Hey, good souls. Have you ever felt like the world keeps asking more from you while giving less back? Every morning you drag yourself out of bed and something inside feels heavier, not broken, just tired. Fractured in ways you can't explain. The truth is, the mind doesn't shatter all at once. It cracks slowly through small disappointments, daily pressures, and the silent noise of comparison. Each time someone ignores your effort, each time a plan collapses, each time you scroll and feel like you're behind, another line forms in the walls of your inner house. We live in a world that tells you to push harder, grind more, never stop. But nobody teaches you how to maintain the engine that drives all that effort. You keep running, hoping speed will drown the pain. Yet deep down you know you can't outrun exhaustion. You can only rebuild from it. Imagine your mind as a fortress. Every insult, failure, and heartbreak is like rain seeping into its stones. At first it's nothing. Then months later, the foundation feels weak. You start to question yourself. Why do I feel numb? Why can't I focus? Why does peace feel so far away? Those aren't signs of weakness, they're signals. The structure is asking for repair. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. He wasn't talking about ignoring pain. He meant acknowledging the cracks and choosing to mend them before they spread. So today we begin the rebuild, not with noise or hype, but with stillness. Not by pretending to be unbreakable, but by learning the art of repair. You don't need perfection, you need awareness. You don't need to erase your scars, you need to understand them. Start by sitting with yourself for 5 minutes. No music, no scrolling, just you. Listen for the small whispers underneath the chaos. They'll tell you what's actually hurting. Because healing doesn't start when you push harder. It starts when you pause and finally hear what your mind has been trying to say. Every warrior has a moment like this, the realization that the battle isn't outside, it's within. When you rebuild that inner fortress brick by brick, even storms start to sound like silence. Take a breath. You've survived every collapse before this one. That means you already have the blueprint for repair inside you. All we're doing now is reading it together. Before you rebuild a fortress, you must clear the rubble. Most people try to decorate the ruins of their mind, posting quotes, forcing motivation, stacking more goals on top of emotional dust. But if you don't remove the broken pieces first, everything you build will collapse again. Debris isn't always visible. It hides in your habits, unfinished tasks, unspoken resentment, endless comparison. Every thought you refuse to confront becomes mental clutter. You think you've moved on, but fragments remain buried. An old insult replaying in your head, guilt that whispers at night, expectations that never belong to you. Each one steals energy. Each one weighs down your focus. The Stoics called this ataraxia, tranquility through clearing inner disturbance. Seneca wrote, "To be calm is the highest achievement of the self." Yet calm can't grow in a crowded mind. Imagine trying to breathe in a room filled with smoke. No matter how strong your lungs are, you'll choke. The same happens when your thoughts are packed with junk. So today we clean. Start small. Pick one unresolved thought that keeps looping in your mind. Don't fight it, observe it. Ask, is this useful or is it residue? Most of what you replay isn't truth. It's noise left from moments that no longer exist. When you label it as debris, it loses its grip. Then act physically. Write down the names, worries, and memories that drain you. Fold the paper. Tear it, throw it away. Simple rituals tell the brain this weight is released. Don't underestimate symbolic action. The body understands what words can't. Next, declutter your digital world. Every unnecessary notification, every toxic page, every reminder of failure, gone. Your phone is part of your mental environment. Keep what feeds you, erase what poisons you. The mind mirrors its surroundings. Finally, forgive, especially yourself. Not because what happened was okay, but because carrying it keeps you stuck in yesterday's wreckage. Forgiveness isn't surrender, it's cleanup. You can't move forward while gripping broken glass. When you start clearing debris, silence will feel strange. That's normal. You've been living in noise so long that peace sounds foreign. Stay with it. Beneath the dust lies clarity, the kind that doesn't shout, it whispers direction. Remember, you're not losing pieces of yourself. You're reclaiming space for growth. A clean foundation doesn't erase your past, it gives it structure. Every scarred stone you keep becomes part of a stronger wall. Take this moment tonight. Close your eyes. Picture yourself sweeping the floor of your mind, dust rising, light cutting through the haze. Each breath removes a little more fog. When you open your eyes, the room is lighter, and so are you. That's how warriors rebuild, quietly, patiently, one cleared corner at a time. You've cleared the debris. The ground is clean. The noise has settled. Now the silence feels almost too heavy, like standing inside an empty house that echoes with your own footsteps. This is the space where most people quit. They mistake emptiness for loss. But emptiness isn't loss, it's potential. It's the moment before creation. When Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action," he meant that struggle builds the framework for strength. A mind that's never tested remains hollow. The cracks we repaired aren't scars to hide. They're anchors where new beams can be placed. So how do you rebuild your inner structure? You start with 3 invisible materials: discipline, clarity, and patience. Discipline is your first pillar, not punishment, not obsession. Discipline is simply remembering what matters, even when emotions pull you elsewhere. You don't need to control every thought, just guide one action at a time. Wake up, move, create, show up. Every act of showing up lays another brick. The fortress grows through repetition, not motivation. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that never dies. Clarity is your second pillar. Most people build their lives without a blueprint, chasing trends, opinions, and fears. Clarity comes from asking one simple question: what is truly mine to do? Write it down. Keep it close. You'll find that 90% of your stress comes from carrying responsibilities that don't belong to you. Once you release them, the structure becomes lighter, steadier. And then patience, the third and most silent pillar. Strength that rushes to prove itself collapses under its own speed. A fortress built overnight crumbles by morning. Growth has its own rhythm. Forcing it is like yelling at seeds to sprout. Be patient with the process. Even stillness is progress when your direction is true. When these three pillars align, the mind begins to harden, not in a cruel way, but in a stable one. It stops bending for approval. It stops shaking under doubt. You start feeling rooted again. The world outside still storms, but your walls don't move with the wind anymore. Understand this. Rebuilding doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means remembering the strength you forgot you had. Beneath fear, beneath fatigue, beneath every failure, you've always been capable of more. You just needed structure to hold that truth steady. Tonight, as you lie down, think of one small act of discipline you'll repeat tomorrow. One thing that brings clarity, one thing that reminds you to be patient. That's your new foundation. Nothing dramatic, just consistent. Because strong minds aren't built in bursts. They're built in quiet daily alignment. The fortress stands again. Not perfect, but unshakable in its purpose. Your walls now stand tall. They protect, they hold, they endure. But a fortress without fire is just cold stone, silent, lifeless, and hollow. Strength without direction becomes stagnation. You can have control, focus, and order, yet still feel an invisible emptiness spreading through the cracks. That emptiness is the absence of purpose. Purpose is the flame that makes the walls glow from within. It's not found in books or speeches. It's discovered in motion, through action that gives your struggle meaning. Without it, the mind becomes like an armored shell, impressive but empty inside. You protect yourself from pain, but you also block out warmth. So what is purpose? It's not a single grand mission. It's the quiet recognition of why you wake up. The Stoics believed purpose was service, the act of contributing to something greater than your own comfort. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is measured by the things he pursues." Notice he didn't say achieves. He said pursues. Purpose isn't perfection. It's direction. Look at your life right now. How much of your energy goes toward things that feed your ego instead of your soul? The ego wants approval. The soul wants impact. The ego wants to be seen. The soul wants to create. Every time you choose the soul over the ego, the flame burns brighter. To awaken that fire, start small. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive when I do it? Then do it consistently, even when no one notices. Maybe it's writing, building, teaching, helping, or simply learning. Purpose isn't born in applause. It's born in repetition. Each day you act with intention. You feed the internal fire that keeps despair from taking root. But beware, the flame of purpose needs boundaries. Without discipline, fire spreads into chaos. Without clarity, it burns what it should warm. So protect your passion with structure. The walls you built before aren't barriers. They're containers, keeping your flame focused, powerful, controlled. When your actions, values, and focus align, your life starts to feel lighter. The same struggles remain, but they stop defining you. Pain transforms from punishment into fuel. You start to see that even suffering can serve purpose when you use it to build something larger than yourself. At night, when doubts whisper, remember this: no one can hand you purpose. You must forge it. Every choice, every sacrifice, every time you refuse to settle, that's you hammering your meaning into existence. Let the fire burn quietly at first. Feed it daily. Over time, that warmth will guide you through darkness, and the fortress of your mind will no longer be just a place of defense. It will be a beacon. The fire of purpose now burns inside your fortress, but even fire left alone too long begins to suffocate. Without air, it flickers, chokes, and dies. The same happens to the mind. Drive without stillness turns into exhaustion. You can't breathe purpose if you never pause to inhale life. Stillness isn't laziness. It's nourishment. It's the quiet inhale between storms. The Stoics practiced it daily, not as escape, but as maintenance. Marcus Aurelius would write before dawn, "I will meet today's troubles with a calm spirit." That was his breath of stillness, a deliberate moment to steady himself before the noise arrived. Modern life leaves no space for silence. You wake to alarms, scroll through chaos, chase deadlines, absorb anger that isn't even yours. Every notification pulls a thread from your focus until your mind feels like tangled wire. The cure isn't another rush of productivity, it's conscious slowness. Try this. Each morning, before you touch your phone, sit upright and breathe. Not dramatic, not forced, just aware. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Watch your thoughts pass like clouds. You're not trying to stop them. You're learning that they are not you. The first time will feel strange. Your brain, addicted to noise, will rebel. Stay anyway. 10 breaths of awareness rebuild more clarity than an hour of scrolling. Stillness also means choosing silence during the day. Walk without music. Eat without distraction. Let yourself hear the hum of life around you. In those small gaps, creativity and courage return. The mind, once frantic, begins to organize itself. You start solving problems you didn't know you could. The Stoics called this euthymia, a state of inner harmony. It doesn't mean peace forever. It means peace on demand. The ability to pause and reset at will. Picture a warrior lowering his sword, not in defeat, but in understanding that the battle outside can't be won until the battle inside is calm. Stillness also reveals truth. When the noise fades, false goals crumble. You see which desires are genuine and which were planted by fear or comparison. That clarity is oxygen for purpose. It keeps your flame pure. Without it, ambition becomes smoke that blinds you. At night, give yourself a small ritual, 1 minute of silence before sleep. Let every thought from the day pass through you like wind moving through an open window. No judgment, no resistance, just release. Sleep then becomes restoration, not escape. You'll notice something within days. Your reactions slow. Anger shortens. Focus sharpens. You stop living in reaction and start living in rhythm. The world remains chaotic, but inside you breathe differently. You no longer chase calm, you carry it. Stillness isn't the absence of movement. It's the mastery of it. When you learn to pause, you gain control over when to act, when to rest, and when to let go. That is true power. Your mind is rebuilt, your purpose lit, and your breath steady. But life does not pause for the prepared. The arena awaits. The moment you step outside your fortress, pressure, resistance, and conflict line up to test every wall, every flame, every inhale you've cultivated. This is where most people falter, not because they are weak, but because they are unprepared for friction. Resistance is unavoidable. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, wars, and endless political chaos. Epictetus endured slavery, physical pain, and social contempt. Seneca watched everything he built crumble before his eyes. None of them lived in comfort. None of them avoided opposition. And yet they became powerful not by fleeing resistance, but by learning to use it. Think of resistance as raw material. Pressure is the hammer. Friction is the fire. The same weight that can crush a mind unprepared will, in a structured mind, forge strength. It is not punishment, it is feedback. It teaches, tests, and refines. The question is not whether resistance exists. It always does. The question is, will you break or will you build under it? Start small. Notice your daily irritations. A rude comment, an unexpected delay, a minor inconvenience. Most people let these moments steal energy, cloud judgment, and harden their hearts. Stoics call this training. Every small encounter is a rehearsal for larger trials. Respond consciously. Do not react emotionally. Watch the irritation come, acknowledge it, then act with intention. That micro-discipline becomes habit, and habit becomes armor. Larger resistance is inevitable. A project fails, a relationship fractures, a health crisis arises. In these moments, the arena is real. Here, the mind you've rebuilt is your advantage. You don't panic. You assess. You strategize. You act with resilience that is visible even to yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That power is forged in daily practice, in small victories over irritation, discomfort, and fear. Resistance also teaches humility. It reminds you that control is limited, that life is unpredictable, and that your mind must remain adaptable. Adaptability is not weakness. It is intelligence. It allows you to bend without breaking, to learn from conflict rather than resent it. The Stoics understood that flexibility in approach preserves integrity in outcome. Here's the exercise. Each morning, visualize one challenge you may face today. Imagine the friction. Imagine the pressure. Then plan one action that maintains your poise, your integrity, and your purpose. It doesn't have to solve the problem completely. It just has to preserve your strength. By anticipating resistance, you remove surprise. By practicing response, you cultivate courage. Step into life knowing you will be tested. The fortress will hold, the fire will guide, the breath will sustain. But resistance will shape you. It will carve wisdom, patience, and resilience into your character. The stronger your walls, the brighter your flame, the deeper your calm, the more powerful your mind becomes when the storm hits. The arena of resistance has tested you. You've faced friction, pressure, and conflict, and your walls have held. Your purpose burns, and your breath steadies your mind. But even the strongest fortress can crumble if its focus is scattered. A sword left unused rusts. A mind left untrained wanders. Clarity and attention are the twin blades that cut through distraction and chaos. And without them, all the work you've done risks dissolving. Focus is not just concentration, it is selection. It is deciding where your mind, your energy, and your action go, and where they don't. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Time is constant. The question is how you allocate it. Every day is a battlefield of attention. The moment you let your mind drift to petty complaints, unimportant tasks, or the endless pull of others' problems, you lose. Start by controlling your environment. Remove clutter. Silence distractions. The first 30 minutes of the day, before email, before social media, before the world demands your attention, belongs to you. Let your thoughts be your own. Use this time to clarify priorities. Write them down. Decide what truly matters today and commit to it fully. Focus also means saying no. Every yes you give to trivial demands steals energy from the work that matters. It's tempting to please others, to stay busy, to feel productive. But busyness is not progress. It is distraction disguised as accomplishment. The Stoics would reflect daily on whether their actions served their values or simply filled time. Apply the same lens. Ask yourself, will this choice build me or will it drain me? Another secret of focus is rhythm. The mind cannot sprint endlessly. Break your day into intentional blocks. Work, rest, reflect, repeat. Focus does not mean forcing yourself to concentrate for hours on end. It means cultivating periods of deliberate attention, undisturbed by noise. Like sharpening a blade, you alternate pressure and release, effort and rest. Focus also protects your emotional state. When your mind is clear, you are less reactive. Resistance from others becomes manageable. Pressure from life becomes fuel instead of poison. The Stoics were masters at this. Marcus Aurelius would pause before responding to insults, letters, or challenges. He understood that reacting without thought weakens your mind. Responding with clarity strengthens it. Here's your exercise. Each morning, identify one priority that matters more than anything else today. Let it dominate your focus. Everything else is secondary. Then for 20 uninterrupted minutes, work solely on that task. No distractions, no phone, no multitasking. Let the depth of focus train your mind to act decisively and effectively, even when the world screams for attention. Sharpening focus is not a one-time act. It's a habit. The more you protect your attention, the stronger your mind becomes. The walls stay firm, the fire burns steadily, and the breath sustains. Distraction fades, chaos diminishes, and you can act with power, precision, and purpose. You faced the arena, strengthened your focus, and protected your mind from chaos. But even the strongest mind can weaken if it never looks inward. Reflection is the armor that reveals cracks before they widen. Daily review is not self-criticism. It is strategy. It is the act of examining your thoughts, actions, and emotions to repair, refine, and rebuild. Without it, the work of the morning erodes unnoticed, and the storms of life take more than they should. The Stoics practiced this rigorously. Marcus Aurelius ended each day with journaling, reviewing his victories, failures, and choices. Seneca would ask himself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What can I correct tomorrow? Epictetus, though enslaved and oppressed, never allowed a day to pass without evaluation. Their secret was simple. Early detection prevents collapse. Small cracks caught in time are easy to fix. Ignored cracks become catastrophes. Start with 2 questions each evening. First, what damage did I accumulate today? Identify stress anger, worry, or distraction that gained a foothold. Name it without judgment. Simply recognizing it is the first repair. Second, what progress did I make? Celebrate the victories no matter how small. Even a single act of discipline, focus, or courage strengthens the mind. This dual lens, recognition of both flaws and accomplishments, keeps your mental structure balanced. Daily review is also a feedback loop. Life is constantly testing you. Without reflection, lessons slip by unnoticed. A conflict at work becomes resentment instead of understanding. A missed opportunity becomes regret instead of strategy. By reviewing, you transform events into data for improvement. You convert mistakes into guidance and challenges into training. The mind becomes adaptive rather than reactive. Write your reflections down. The act of recording solidifies understanding. Seeing words on paper externalizes thought, making patterns visible. Over time, recurring weaknesses, habits, and distractions become clear. Likewise, repeated successes reinforce confidence and clarity. The Stoics called this self-examination, a deliberate maintenance of the mind. It is the difference between surviving and thriving, between living randomly and living intentionally. Even a short session, 5 minutes, is enough. Identify one problem to repair tomorrow. Identify one strength to build on. Make small adjustments. This is not about perfection. It is about constant, incremental improvement. Like a blacksmith sharpening a sword, repeated attention keeps the edge fine and ready. Neglect the blade and it dulls. Neglect your mind and it weakens. Here's your exercise tonight. Before sleep, pause. Ask yourself, what did I feed my mind today? Did I consume noise or quality? What pressures did I release? And which did I ignore? Where did I compromise principles, and where did I hold steady? Choose one adjustment to make tomorrow morning. One repair, one building block. That small action compounds, shaping your resilience, strength, and clarity over time. Reflection is not passive. It is active preparation for mastery. By reviewing daily, you keep your mental fortress intact, your flame steady, and your sword sharp. You know yourself, control your reactions, and anticipate resistance before it arrives. Your mind is your most powerful tool, but it is not self-sustaining. Left to its own devices, it will consume anything it finds. Noise, distraction, fear, gossip, or negativity, and your strength will erode without you even noticing. Feeding your mind with quality, purpose, and intention is as vital as feeding your body. The Stoics understood this. They didn't just endure life, they nurtured the soil of their own thoughts so that strength, resilience, and wisdom could grow naturally. Marcus Aurelius began each day with reflection and study. Seneca read philosophical texts, letters, and wisdom designed to shape his thinking and clarify his purpose. Epictetus, even in slavery, cultivated his mind with deliberate attention to lessons that would fortify him against suffering. They understood that the mind is like a garden. If you plant weeds, negativity, fear, comparison, they will overrun everything. If you plant seeds of strength, clarity, focus, resilience, the mind thrives and produces results that last. Start by examining what you consume first thing in the morning. Many people grab their phones immediately. Social media, news, emails, notifications. They flood the mind with chaos before it has had a chance to awaken. The Stoics would never allow this. They protected their mornings because they knew the first thoughts set the tone for the day. Garbage in first, garbage out later. Clean input first, clarity and strength later. Feed your mind with intentional content. Read something meaningful. Listen to teachings that elevate your thinking. Reflect on quotes or passages that challenge and inspire. Even 5 minutes of purposeful focus shapes the entire day. Imagine a filter. If you pour water through a sieve that blocks debris, clean water emerges. Your mind works the same way. Feed it quality, and your thoughts, decisions, and actions remain sharp, deliberate, and powerful. Feed it trash, and it becomes scattered, reactive, and weak. This also applies to habits, people, and environment. Avoid constant negativity, gossip, and toxic influence. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire, challenge, and elevate your thinking. The Stoics didn't isolate themselves entirely, they engaged, but they chose their interactions wisely, recognizing that minds are contagious. What you expose yourself to daily becomes a reflection of what you can achieve, how you think, and who you become. Here's your exercise. The next morning, before you scroll or check notifications, spend 10 minutes intentionally feeding your mind. Read a meaningful passage, listen to a lesson, or write a thought that shapes your day. Then observe how your mind responds. You'll notice more clarity, less reactivity, and a deeper ability to focus under pressure. Remember, this is a daily practice. One good morning can't undo months of careless feeding. Repetition strengthens the mind, just as it strengthens the body. Over time, your mental resilience compounds, and your inner fortress becomes unshakable. The Stoics knew this secret. What you allow into your mind determines your strength, your response to resistance, and your ability to thrive under pressure. Every input shapes your output. Every thought compounds. Every habit either builds or erodes. Feed wisely. Feed deliberately. Feed for power. Strength is born in discomfort. It is forged in the fires of challenge, resistance, and deliberate difficulty. Comfort lulls the mind into weakness. Every time you choose ease over effort, avoidance over action, you train yourself to crumble when life becomes hard. The Stoics understood this clearly. They did not seek suffering, but they welcomed small, controlled hardships to prepare themselves for the inevitable storms of life. Manius Rufus, one of the great Stoic teachers, recommended intentionally embracing discomfort. He would sleep on hard surfaces even when a bed was available. He would endure cold or hunger, not to punish himself, but to train resilience, to prove to his mind that it could survive and function under pressure. Marcus Aurelius, ruling the greatest empire of the world, faced constant crises. Yet he disciplined himself daily, training his mind to endure stress, criticism, and adversity without losing composure. Discomfort is a teacher. Avoiding it teaches weakness. Every skipped challenge, every easy path, every act of avoidance tells your mind, you are fragile. And life, relentless as it is, will eventually present discomfort whether you are ready or not. When it arrives untrained, the mind panics. Decisions falter. Confidence collapses. Action freezes. But when discomfort has been tested deliberately, the mind acts with calm, precision, and courage. Start small. Choose one act of deliberate difficulty each morning. Take a cold shower even when warm water is available. Skip the snooze button and rise immediately. Do a task that makes you uneasy or forces focus. Sit in silence without distraction. These are not punishments. They are training exercises. Each time you endure willingly, you teach your mind that discomfort is temporary and manageable. Each act builds a mental muscle that compounds over time. Discomfort also sharpens perspective. Life's challenges appear smaller when you have faced voluntary hardships. Fear loses its grip, anxiety diminishes, and resilience becomes instinctive. The Stoics practice premeditation of difficulties, premeditatio malorum, not to invite misfortune, but to mentally prepare for it. They imagined betrayal, loss, and hardship so that when reality struck, they remained grounded and effective. Here's your exercise. Each morning, identify one small act of discomfort. It can be physical, mental, or emotional. Do it intentionally. Reflect afterward. Ask yourself, what did this teach me? How does it make me stronger? Then repeat the next day. Gradually, the exercises can increase in intensity, but the principle remains. Training in controlled adversity strengthens the mind for uncontrolled adversity. Remember, the goal is not suffering for its own sake. The goal is resilience, clarity, and mastery over your own responses. Discomfort, when intentional, becomes a teacher rather than a threat. Avoidance, on the other hand, becomes a prison. Each morning you practice, you are building mental armor that cannot be shattered easily. The Stoics mastered life not by avoiding hardship, but by preparing for it daily. They understood that ease is seductive, but strength is forged in resistance. You can do the same. Every deliberate act of discomfort strengthens your mind, sharpens your focus, and builds resilience that endures long after the moment of challenge has passed. Even the strongest mind can weaken if it goes unchecked. Damage accumulates silently, like cracks forming in a wall, unnoticed until a storm brings collapse. Life hits daily: stress, disappointment, fear, worry, and each impact leaves its mark. Most people ignore it, thinking they are fine. They push through, and slowly, without realizing, small cracks widen into structural failures. The Stoics understood this. They practiced daily inspection of their minds, identifying damage early and repairing it before it became unmanageable. Marcus Aurelius, despite ruling the Roman Empire amidst wars, plagues, and betrayals, never allowed himself to skip reflection. Each night he reviewed his day, asking, "What did I do well? Where did I fail? What damage has taken root in my mind?" Seneca, wealthy and powerful, similarly examined his thoughts and actions, identifying stress, fear, and distraction, then taking steps to repair them. Epictetus, even as a slave, performed mental audits every day. Their consistent habit prevented small cracks from becoming catastrophic failures. Start with a simple daily routine. Set aside a few minutes at the end of your day. Ask 3 key questions. What stress, fear, or worry am I carrying right now? What decisions, actions, or reactions cause strain or conflict today? What victories or positive actions strengthened me? The goal is not self-criticism or guilt. It is data collection. Identifying cracks before they widen and understanding where your mind is strong. Small problems left unchecked become large problems. A minor worry ignored today can become anxiety tomorrow. A fleeting moment of anger or resentment can fester into a pattern of destructive behavior. Unattended distractions and incomplete tasks accumulate, creating chaos in your mental environment. The Stoics knew that early detection makes repair simple. Just as a small crack in a dam can be patched easily, a small worry or unresolved conflict can be addressed quickly if noticed early. Your daily inspection should include both mental and emotional checkups. Notice patterns. Are you reactive to minor triggers? Do old habits resurface? Is there something in your environment draining energy? Even small insights matter. Identify one area that requires repair and take action immediately. This is maintenance, not crisis management. By addressing issues while they are small, you prevent overwhelming breakdowns. Write it down. Externalizing your observations on paper, in a journal or a notes app, makes the process concrete. Patterns become visible. You can track recurring stresses and victories. Over time, you learn to anticipate damage before it arises. You train yourself to be proactive, not reactive, controlling your mind rather than being controlled by circumstances. Here's your exercise. Tonight, spend 5 minutes reviewing your day. Identify one mental crack, one emotional strain, or one unresolved issue. Ask yourself, how can I repair this tomorrow morning? Make a small plan. One step, one action. That simple act of awareness and preparation compounds over time, building resilience, clarity, and self-mastery. Daily damage inspection is the difference between a collapsing mind and an unshakable one. The Stoics mastered life not because it was easy, but because they built habits to catch and repair damage consistently. You can do the same. Most of what we do every day is temporary. Emails vanish after being read. Meetings are forgotten, problems solved or replaced within hours. We spend our energy reacting to the urgent and leave nothing behind that lasts. That is why, despite busyness and effort, so many feel empty, unfulfilled, and fragile. The Stoics understood this deeply. Life is short, external circumstances fleeting, but what you create in thought, action, and influence can endure far beyond today. This is what builds real strength, purpose, and legacy. Marcus Aurelius wrote his private reflections every morning, not for fame, not to impress others, but to preserve his thinking, to strengthen his mind, and to leave lessons for the future. 2,000 years later, his words still teach, guide, and inspire. Seneca's letters remain powerful tools for self-reflection and resilience. Epictetus's lessons continue to shape minds centuries later. These men understood that permanent work, the work that survives time, is the only work that truly matters. So what can you build that lasts? You don't need fame or fortune. Permanent work can be as simple as thoughts, habits, and actions with enduring impact. Writing a journal entry that clarifies your priorities, teaching someone a lesson that shapes their future, creating a skill that compounds over years, helping someone in a meaningful way. These are all acts of permanence. They are investments in your legacy, in your mental strength, and in the lives of others. Every morning, identify one action that creates permanence. It could be a small, consistent habit, like journaling or reflecting on your principles. It could be a skill you practice daily, building expertise and confidence over time. It could be a meaningful interaction with someone, a piece of guidance, encouragement, or mentorship that has long-term effects. The key is intention. Focus on what will matter beyond the moment. Think of your life like a building. Temporary tasks are decoration, emails, meetings, chores. Important, yes, but fleeting. Permanent work is the foundation, the load-bearing walls that will support everything else. Without it, no matter how busy or productive your day feels, there is nothing to endure. Foundations built today, knowledge, discipline, character, are what remain when distractions fade and life tests your strength. Here's your exercise. Each morning, choose one action that builds permanence. Write it down. Say it aloud. Commit to it before responding to the urgent demands of the day. Then act. Over time, these small daily acts compound, creating a structure of lasting value that cannot be shaken by chaos or stress. You are building a legacy, a mind, and a life that matters. The Stoics mastered this principle. Their power, influence, and teaching endured because they prioritized permanent work over temporary distractions. Their mornings were not about reacting. They were about building, shaping, and preserving what truly mattered. You can do the same. Build something that will outlast today, that will outlast temporary problems, and that will strengthen your mind in ways no crisis can undo. Every day offers a choice. React to the temporary or build the permanent. Make that choice consciously. Choose to create, to preserve, to contribute, and to strengthen yourself in ways that last. Let this morning practice of permanence be your final repair, the culmination of all the work you've done to protect, train, and strengthen your mind. You have learned 12 repairs. Throw out yesterday's trash. Check your foundation. Fix small problems. Remove toxicity. Uphold your principles, release pressure, have backup plans. Clear your mind first. Feed it well. Train in discomfort. Inspect daily and now build permanence. Do not wait for life to break you. Repair, strengthen, and create daily. Leave your mark. Start today,